Hi, I'm Mickey Sutton, and this is my video presentation for the OS system for my class Interactive Design 2. For this project, I was to create a OS system for a phone, a tablet, and a computer. Main idea behind this project, design and function-wise, is I wanted to separate applications for media and fun, and then but then take away the more professional side of technology and scheduling, and then see if I can make it come together again in the examples I'm going to show you. So before we get started on the actual computer examples, I just want to show off some sketches I had. Really into ghosts and how they look, so I just wanted to show off some of the icon designs. I wanted to make the mascot of this brand I called Spectre, a little ghost with glowing white eyes. I was toying around giving him a mouth, but I felt like that made him look too cartoonish, and I just wanted to be a simple symbol, one that can be easily recognized. And the lettering is hand-drawn that I did on Illustrator, and that is why I wanted to make a more spirit-themed icon set, but as you can see here with the roughs, they did not always fit into what is needed of an icon. They are very much like their own shapes and would need a lot of resizing if I were to make that work. Not to mention, I admit they are very flat and a little too out there for what would be a pretty minor icon. Right here we have my first sketches for how I wanted the layout to look. The main point of these is that I wanted to give two big bars at the top and the bottom, so that way there'd be easy access to how I wanted to separate the apps and keep them more organized. This is going to be a theme throughout the entire design of the applications. We are now at the web application, and honestly, the biggest problem with this first design was that I did not leave enough screen space. And you can see as with the little weather icon, even if I expand it, it does not look as presentable. It is not as much space to work on as the most important aspect to working on a laptop. Okay, now we've moved on to the phone applications. It's honestly not that much different from what I had in mind for the iPad. Main difference would be a handful of apps and the sizing. Now the issue with this one is that overall it's just very flat. It was just a first draft, but icons are not right, icons do not pop out. So which is why I decided to change them up into my Illustrator file here. I wanted to give them gradients, color, I wanted to make them pop out of their boxes a little bit, so to speak. And overall, I'm not angry with the designs I had. I even had time to, as you can see before, make some designs which did have a little ghost face, as you can see right there at the icon design, just to play around with the theme a bit more. But there is one underlying issue with making your apps in Illustrator. Even though it's easier to practice because Illustrator's got over shapes, it does not render properly. And you're going to see that when I drop in my first gallery icon into XD. Okay, once I zoom in, you can see that it is not rendering properly. It looks very, very pixelated. It overall just looks like it does not belong with the rest of the icons that I have for this application. I'm going to move it next to the redesign for the gallery icon, and as you can see, there is a very big difference. One is rendered way better, and even though I don't prefer to work on these types of projects in Photoshop, I admit it was not that difficult as I initially thought, and I was still able to keep my main style. You can see right here, still the gradient, still the shadows. I had to make sure it was spaced properly within the application. I did not do that the first time to make sure it was more centered within the little icon space. But yeah, we're going to see the layers I have for the gallery icon that I had shown earlier. So now we move on to the first web example. This is captured off of my browser. So you can see I was able to have a lot more life within the icons and add some function between them. That is the weather application. And this is our music application. So one thing you have to know is that everyone wants to keep their music organized, so you have to have them in different folders. I just chose a handful of my favorite songs for the design of it. Had to make sure that it was easy to use and also easy to listen to. You have to add your play and your pause button and make sure that you're able to just shuffle through your music. Alright, so now we move on back to the media page, but from the media page you can just hop on right back to the professional side of things. We're going to check out the clock function. There are set times you can also have for this app, and they will change color once they are clicked on. Or maybe we don't want to do that. Maybe we want to have a more specific event. We go to calendar, we click on add event, and then you click on alarm so you can actually set an alarm for that specific day. Use the dials to choose what time you want, what time of the day it is, and maybe pick a ringtone while you're at it. As you can see right next to alarm, it is now set in place. You can add notes, you can add a title, whatever it is that makes you stay more organized. Our event is saved. Maybe I want to create a new one. Or actually, maybe I don't. And that concludes the web example. Next, we moved on to the tablet example. Now, my computer actually does have a tablet function, but for whatever reason, it clearly was not working out. So I just had to film it on my phone. You can see we can access the weather application very easily and exit out. Gives an idea of what's going on every day of the week as well as a description. Now we can go on to the professional page, go back to the clock. We can select our time or, decide not to. We can head back to the home page. Now moving on to the media side, back into our music application. Gotta make sure that all the folders are organized and that we can select every song. Back to the professional page, we can find the calendar tab and we can create a specific event again. You want it 4:30 in the morning? No, I think more 4:30 in the afternoon is better. Choose some proper music and select. Now, one issue I ran into is that is my options bar. Now that is where I keep the buttons from the internet, the data, and the sound. And for a reason, in tablet mode, it was not sliding out. I had selected drag and everything was working beforehand. Now if you see me doing it on my computer, it actually works just fine. All the buttons fade in and out as they're supposed to, so I don't know what to say about that. Okay, now we move on to the phone application part of the project. Now I had to darken my room a lot and also darken the phone a lot for this to show up well. Sorry if I have issues, it's hard shooting at that angle, but I am unlocking the lock screen now and accessing the weather application very easily. Next thing we have is our toolbar, as long as you don't hit the slide too hard. This gives you options to sound, vibrate, and mute, and you can just slide it right back. Let's go to the professional page, to the clock application. And we can also go back into music. We have our folders organized as usual, and we can scan through our music for the day. Alright, so we're going back into the professional page, which again you can access through the media page at that top bar. We're going to go into the calendar, new event. We're going to choose a time for it through the clock application. We're going to select a new one. It takes a few tries when it's on a trial run on your phone, I'm sorry. Use the dial to change the time. Select if you want to wake up super early or super late. Then you're going to select the music you want to add to the ringtone for it. I'm going to save your event. Make sure you have all the notes that you need to have, and your event is saved. You can go back and create a new one, or you can decide against it. Alright, that was my project for Interactive Design 2 at Point Park University. This was definitely a more challenging project, but I am still glad that I did it. It's really nice to see like your own app designs like actually on your phone, even if it is just for a preview. So, yes, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.